Hello to you all. Sometimes we're missing something we wishing, but never had it. Sometimes we're missing something we wishing, and we used to have it. Sometimes we hope to create that and aiming for a better future. Holidays is time where some people can be very emotional, feeling very lonely, feeling that all their expectation is pretty much crushed, and the hope that they had that someone will call them, invite them, incorporate with them, acknowledge them, the sense of belonging, the expectation that society have today, what are you supposed to feel and how you're supposed to look, all of that can accumulate into a lot of stress, internal stress, that if you don't know how to insource it and how to facilitate that, you will look to outsource it. So I would like to invite you into a certain perspective that may be useful for you. Might be useful for you as a parent, might be useful to you as a friend, might be useful for you as a partner. Something to think about, right? So especially in the holidays when everything gets so tense and sometimes you preparing so much and sometimes you invite people. So here we go. Sometimes we don't think alike. And you'll say, duh, right? Obviously. But what do you do when the other person, if it's your child, if it's your best friend, if it's your partner, if it's your family member, you don't think alike, and you don't think alike for a while, which means for a long time. So you might say, well, what's the point? What's the point of talking to that person? He and she will never change. Obviously, if it's not a relationship that you want to maintain, keep and preserve, we can talk about how to let go of that relationship. But I'm today inviting you to think and to incorporate and engage in your life in a way that you're going to keep that relationship. So, especially when we don't think alike, I'm sure you can grasp the understanding that me and you might think differently, right? And we're just different people, sometimes different culture, sometimes different personality, the personality, different wisdom from your life. There's no bad and good. There's no better than. It's fact of life. How you deal with that difference, that's the key for the healing journey. If you're in front of someone and you think differently than when the other person is, the first thing to understand that whatever the other person is projecting, it's not about you, is what they see through you, who they meet through you, through this encounter, through this dialogue. So the first thing is to do is to become what I call hotel, to be in hospitality. I don't have to include everything that the other person say, but I need to have space within me to understand that maybe, just maybe, we don't think alike, and to hear, really listen to what other people say, because what he or she is saying is not about you, is what they think about you. They think about whatever that you discuss, if it's politics, if it's life in general, if it's your own preferences, they're just projecting through you what they think about themselves or where they're holding in their perspective. So the right place, the healthy place, is to have two brains that can communicate with each other, not nullify and criticize, cancel each other, don't need overly to you to understand, but rather to hold a space when we can hear each other. One of the most profound lessons as a parent and as a child, as a counselor, that I can share with you, that sometimes the healing journey is all about the other person, just to make room, to hold space, to hear that maybe, just maybe, without you being conscious about, you hurt them, or unintentionally you hurt them. Most people, what they do, they jump into the, I didn't do that. That was not what I did. I didn't do that. This is someone else. You're confused. We always going to the what we call the court, who is right and who is wrong, because the first instinct is for us to be understood. But maybe the other person have no space within him to understand you, because he is shortcoming, he's limitations. And I'm not here to be a tree hugger and say, let's understand each other and let's hug some trees and kumbaya, we'll have peace in the world. It's for you to own your reality and meaningful relationships that are important for you. Have some space to understand that sometimes you're not going to see alike. And sometimes your actions or lack of actions create that reaction in the other person emotions. Now, what you're going to do about it, this is where the solutions start to be in a healing journey. How you're going to approach it, how you're going to embrace that understanding or that knowledge that maybe, just maybe, you created that in the other person's life because of who they are, not because of who you are. Mind you, pay attention to what people say, how they talk. Just listen. When you listen, you'll know exactly where they're holding. You'll know to separate yourself from the situation rather than be involved and completely take it personally. You will know where they're holding. It's nothing to do with you. Now, if you intentionally hurt them and you know that, that's a different story and a different conversation. But when it comes to healing relationships, meaningful relationships that you care about, that you want to maintain, you want to keep, you want to preserve, you want to feed, make some space to hold someone else's perspective that probably might be different than yours. And sometimes you can come to a place where you both agree to disagree. And that's called a dialogue and not a monologue. So make sure to have that space, to have that mindset, to observe that what's happening around you. Listen to what people say and pay attention to how you respond. And I assure you that if you do that, you're already in different space. So all the best, all the best. Have a wonderful time. And if you have any questions, I'm here to serve. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.